Okay. Not too much left to do now. But in this one, we are working on the angry parts of the tank. The first thing you'd ideally want to work on is the turret drive. However, I do things a little bit backwards because my heads-up display and turret chip basically run individually. So what I mean is the gun chip, all it does is aim the gun, and there's some external inputs, but that's all it does. The camera, which would be really useful for aiming the gun because it's a camera, is actually controlled by the heads-up display. So actually what we're going to do first is set up some basic things in the heads-up display. So let's go ahead and do that. I've actually learned a little bit and went ahead and put my E2s down before I needed to use them. But yeah, the HUD chip requires externally anyway, you know, power controller, cam controller, EGP. Whoa. I didn't know that was gonna happen. But yeah, you want these three. Go ahead and link them to your chair. Now, additionally, the cam controller is a bit special. Basically, these are the settings I use for the cam controller. I'm pretty sure the only one that really matters is client-side movement. That needs to be checked because that's how you can aim around with your mouse. So let's not wire up the gun chip just yet. Let's just focus on the HUD. So power controller, cam controller, EGP. Previous weapon goes to the power controller. Next weapon. Blaze is usually just mouse 2 for me. Main gun. Secondary. We don't have a secondary. I know you're looking at the coax saying, oh, is that the secondary? But secondary gets its own sight, and I don't have an RWS on top, so full base, turret base. And unlike the gun chip, this is actually the turret base and the whole base, not something else. Engine. Sure, we can go ahead and wire it up, but our thing can't move. The drivetrain isn't set up yet. Get that wired properly. Okay. Speed. Air navigation. Leave those unwired, and that's really all we need for now. So let's wire activate it on the cam controller to on the power controller. Thinking about it. Yeah. Filter entities can go ahead and go to the filter entities array on the HUD in the camera, and that should be it for wiring. Now let's go ahead and do my favorite thing to do when setting up the heads-up display, which is get some props and put them where I want my cameras to be. So this is where I want my commander's view to be, thereabouts. And this is where I'm kind of tempted to go and spawn in the model just so I can see what's actually the middle of this little orb here, but whatever. Crash hit game. So yeah, I'm gonna have my commander's position a bit unrealistically high, as if he's full open hatch, and I like to be able to see around me. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll just clean up the coordinates on that a little bit. Yeah, that looks about right. So another thing I want is a coaxial sight. However, I'm gonna do something different. Normally I put my coaxial sight like right next to the gun, and I guess I could still do that, but let's put it over here in front of the gunner sight, primary sight. And so basically what I want is I want a third person camera, first person camera, and a like coaxial sight. Well, normally is a coaxial sight, but this is actually gunner's primary sight. So now I need to think about where this point the camera is rigidly attached to, because it's here and this point is on the turret. So when the turret rotates that way, I still want to be over the commander's hatch, not like just, well, it's kind of difficult to describe, but basically this point is anchored to the turret, so I'm going to be using the turret base as the base. So what we do is highlight it, open the R menu, double click point 1, and we got those coordinates. So go ahead and copy those. Open up the heads up display chip. We gotta scroll a little bit here. And we're gonna skip over and go to this stack right here. So the anchor entity, or the entity, is the turret base. That's good. Enter the coordinates. Distance is 0 because we're actually centered on that point. And magnification, yeah, whatever. That's good. That's what I usually use. This point is also anchored to the turret base. Go to the turret base. Copy. And we'll slide that in this other slot. And yeah, these are the magnifications I have. It's a bit more zoomed in. And the third point here, we'll leave it as is. That's the third person camera. You usually don't need to like put cubes down to figure out third person. There's more trial and error, so let us do that. And let's go ahead and see what this looks like, shall we? Okay, so here we are in first person. There's the gunner's primary sight, very zoomed in, see? And if I scroll out, that's third person. That's actually pretty good. Dang. So the sight isn't rendering. Get out and get back in. There you go. Nice. We're not really concerned with the sight and everything like that right now. So that's basically the HUD setup. What I will do before I move on to the gun chip is this is a really useful E2. I have it on my paste pen somewhere. I'm gonna link this probably all in a pinned comment anyway. Just E2s I use in this one for easy access, but alignment helper. My E2s are kind of notorious for being very fun to line up, but on this bad boy, line it up with your tank. Green X forward, red Y left, and blue Z up. And I'm pretty sure you just look at what you want to get the angles for, hit T. So that's 0, 0, 0. Turret ring is 0, 0, 180. That's excellent. And the alignment doesn't really matter for the heads up display. However, it does affect, as you could probably tell earlier, the tank diagram. So it was aiming to the side when I was in here. Let's see if that fixes it. So yeah, now you can see it's aiming forward. Very nice. Now, I'm kind of not sure how well this is gonna go, because the last time I did this, I was fiddling with the gun chip for a while. But first of all, I guess you can go ahead and copy your alignment settings. Now, MG base as opposed to hull base. MG base is what the turret assembly is anchored to. So you can think of the main gun its turret assembly is anchored to the hull right here. If I had an RWS on top of the turret, let's just say this cupola could rotate and it had a gun on top of it, that would be an RWS, or, well, not really, it's pintle mount, but that turret assembly would be anchored to the turret. So in our case, MG base is just going to be the hull. And the hull didn't need to be aligned, and we don't have a secondary RWS type thing. So we're using a physical gun, so that's going to be 0. Let's go ahead and make sure our inertias are zeroed out. I don't want some funny business, and I'll default that at 3.5. Okay. I don't need to show hollows actually. We can just leave that off. Okay, so go ahead and update the gun chip. And we actually need to wire it, of course, so active. I think that just goes active on the power controller. This is a newer experimental version. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same. It's just like, oh, hey, that was kind of cool. I'm gonna put that on. Now, MG aim pose and SG aim pose. Probably should have left it hit pose, but I was doing some weird things with having me be able to aim and something else be able to aim for me in APS, if you're wondering. These basically go to the same thing. However, I don't have a secondary. I don't need to wire it. I'm just gonna wire it anyway. That's gonna go to hit pose from the cam controller. Controller. Main gun. MG base again with what the main gun's turret assembly is relative to the hull base. So secondary gun, don't have one. Secondary base, don't have one. Ring gate, we're not using a parented gun. MG ain't offset. We'll come back to those later. And lock MG and lock SG, don't wire those. Okay. And one thing I'm just gonna go ahead and add right now is a weld latch. It goes from the gun to the hull base. I can just go there. And I can go ahead and get parented to the hull as well. And so your weld latch active just gets wired to those are just debug outputs, everything above under the latch, so don't worry too much about that. But yeah, that's MG latch, and that should be it. So all going according to plan. This all should just work. That was strange. It just fell apart. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? So it looks like the hold on. What? What? Eh? What do you mean? So basically, the constraints are deleting themselves. Alright, boys and girls, I joined Real Builders, just like last time, to see if my constraints deciding to commit suicide was a result of my bad single player physics, or if it was real. And it was in fact real. So I went back a few versions and rewired the heads up display chip and linked all the crap. And the constraints haven't decided to head out. And the gun does in fact aim with those settings I did show you. Oh, third person doesn't have a... But yeah, the gun does aim, it's not calibrated, it wobbles when it aims, all that, you know. The only thing I did different was I did not put the weld latch on the hole. And I don't know if it's the weld latch doing it for sure yet, but let's try it again and see if it does it. Yep. I'm not sure what to do. So no weld latches. Okay, that's fine. No weld latches on primitive, physical primitive things, I think. You know what? We could. I want to see if it's gone now. If the weld latch sort of thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Don't put weld latches on physical primitive things. I guess it doesn't work. Let's fix the wobble on the gun. But first, let me just see here. Okay. So wobbles left to right. Overshoots all that. So what I like to do is make it apply more force until, or you know, account for the inertia properly until it looks like it does elevating, because usually you can go off elevating, because in my case I have a machine gun ball socketed to the gun that's not a whole lot of inertia. They're extra rotational mass, which is inertia. So rotation correction. Let's give this like 10,000. Let's see if that's enough. That actually seems perfect. Of course it's not perfect, but good enough for me. And let us go ahead and adjust some stuff. So depression is 1010, I think 0 over the back. Elevation we can go ahead and go to 20, and I like this to be reasonably snappy, not too high because that was causing a lot of wobble last time with my well, not last time, but with the light tank. Rotation speed, this is vertical, so that can stay at, this can actually be 35. I'm gonna do something different where I have fast vertical but slow horizontal maybe. So I think this would be, what is this? 12-second traverse? Let's do, this would be like quite a bit slower. Let's do 20. That'd be slow traverse. But quick vertical. Good for stabilization. Whoops, that's the wrong E2. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's basically it. That is basically it. I could tighten up the depression zones a little bit. Have it activate a little bit sooner. I guess I can go ahead and show that. So yeah, 10, side arc, 150. I think this is 160 to 170 maybe. And make sure that's a gunship. Okay, so full 10 degrees of gun depression until you get about salute. I'll say this is good, but it needs to come out some more. How does this look? Yeah, that's going through the tow cable. I don't really care that much about the tow cable though. Okay. We'll have it start a little bit earlier so we can do like 157 something. No, we'll do 155. going through the tow cable, but whatever. Yay! That was a lot easier than expected, other than the part where the tank decided that it wanted to stop existing. And that's just ACF. Oh my gosh. Can I do this? That's pretty ghetto, but yeah, see if it works, I guess. That is very pog. That is so pog. You know what, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the weld latch doing that more than primitive. Because the weld latch, if you look at it with like constraint remover, when it's actually activated, it creates like something called fizz underscore constraint, and it's like, I don't know. Not the first time I've seen weird behavior from a weld latch. Let us go ahead and do some fun things with the ammo though. So I have APDS, these two crates, AP, and I have some armor piercing high explosive in the bustle. So we gotta set up the ammo. First come into the chip. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty relevant because this was updated, so you get to see it this time. I don't have AP on 1. I have APDS on 2, so let's do APDS on 1, AP on 2, and we'll have, yes, HESH on 3. The way this works is you can have basically as many ammo types as you want now for primary and secondary. Just make sure you actually, you know, duplicate this and, you know, set the keybind and set the name. You don't have to set the name. It'll generate one if you don't have one. However, you absolutely need to make sure that you have matching outputs for every ammo type you have. So I have 3. I don't need this MA4. There's no harm in it staying there. So if I had 5 ammo counts, along with making sure I had enough in the stack, I could go ahead and do MA5. And they have to follow this naming convention, so MA number and SA number for secondary, but we don't have secondary, so that is good. So the way the chip identifies ammo crates is like so. You basically get the go ahead and get the load input and wire that to the MA output. So remember, we had Sabo first, so that goes to MA1. We had AP second, so that goes to MA2. And we had heat third, so that goes to MA3. MA3, not freaking track sound player. Alright. So we just get in the tank here. Oh. Well, normally I respawn the freaking whole thing, but cycles, built the ballistic data. That's good. You can see now, there's an ammo counter with APDS, AP, and HESH. And HESH is already loaded for some reason. That's actually another thing I want to do is I actually want a different sight on this. I'm not going to use the range table for once. Let's go all the way up to where I was. So, come down here. MD sight. I want this to be the Abrams type sight. And the sight is actually hidden in third person. Remember that you can turn things on and off depending on camera position. So I have that disabled in third person. All this stuff. Oh, I guess I could do 110 millimeter to L9. That sounds British. Yeah, you remember the offset from the gun chip? We're gonna go ahead and make use of that. MG offset. MG offset. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see if the ballistics are working properly, or rather, you know, L data, ballistics, gun calibration, whatever you want to call it. So I really don't know why the sight doesn't render the first time, but just get out, get back in, and there we go. So I wired lays to, does that shake? It looks like it was shaking. I wired lays to my left right mouse button. It's also important if you're going to test fire the gun to go ahead and wire it. So fire goes to whatever you want. Switch on mouse 1. I think reload is what you want on ACF3. I think, I'm not really sure, but that goes to MG reload. That's how you can like switch ammo types and such. Okay. Got a 3-second reload. Anyway, right click, calibrate the gun. The shell should land more or less over there. Oh, this thing fires pretty quick. Might be a real bit of this thing. Anyway, I should be able to shove a new shell in. And it doesn't tell you, but you have to actually manually fire it. Force it to load. And this fires much slower because it's freaking heavy AP. That seems good. How about the really slow round? So let's see. Hish. See if we can hit the tree over there. Actually overfin the tree. Okay, so the ballistics are in fact working. That's good. Yeah, tertiary counts. I think I'm gonna have it be ready and then ammo count. So let's do ready and ammo counts. Total ammo. And another thing we can do is, what is this? This is a multiply gate. Does the engine store how much fuel it has? No. Can I convert this to an add gate? Arithmetic add. Okay. So I guess A can be fuel. And that can be tertiary 3. Yeah, basically what I'm doing here, so this is like smoke ready. That's tertiary 1, remember? This can be smoke. This can be charges, I guess. And we can go ahead and just duplicate it with Shift D. I don't know how. And this could be just fuel. That is basically how you do tertiary counts. You just wire it to a number and give it a name, and you're straight. All good. There you go. Top right corner. You can see the smoke is not ready. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I need to calibrate my smoke launchers. That's unfortunate. Probably coming up is me doing a custom diagram for the Centurion, but that's basically it. You can go ahead and do this manually. There's a list of what you can use here. They have box and outline, rounded box, circle, poly, line. I am going to cheat and use that E2 I mentioned in the update video, or the video after the update video, actual tank icon thing. If I could find it. So, icon? Custom icon? What's this? Okay, apparently it was called 2D projector. 2D. Nice. So, maybe we start with the hole first, basically. Okay, and the way this works is I really forget, so let me see if I can. Okay, so yeah, it does second entity marker. That's good. I just leave that out there, and I'm pretty sure the E2 actually needs to be where you want your icon to be centered. We're gonna go ahead and do the hole first, not to grab something that I shouldn't grab. Actually, I really should be doing this on like something that's just mesh, but I can't be bothered. Let's just use the spheres. I'm gonna start with the whole looks like I'm using lines, so the prefix is what it prints before it gives you the vector. If I'm using lines, okay, yeah, I'll use lines. Lines are pretty good. Lines can be convex as well, so that's, yeah, good. So actually, up and down position of this doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. And actually, yeah. I can get rid of this and like, it's only where I want to bend it, so I might as well, yeah. You don't need a million vertices on your thing, it just needs to, oh my gosh. Doesn't need to be mirrored, but I just thinking about it. So that's gonna be a line going that way. And we can use red again, because these won't be able to get confused. I'm not sure what the point of color coding these was if I'm not gonna freaking use them, but whatever. I'm gonna leave all this in anyway. Whatever. Okay. Let's try this. So the very first one I want to do is go here, there, and there. So what's the print key on this? G. Excellent. There's one thing I do want to change is the significant figures. Let's have it be less precise. And basically with the E2, we go to the whole elements. Let's just paste it. So because we're trying to make a line. Yeah, okay, we need the whole thing, but I only copy pasted a little bit. So next time I need to like, it doesn't matter, but just make sure this is like sandwiched in between that stuff. So I did the right side first. Now if you think about it, I have to come back on the left side. So basically we start with this one actually. It's X and Y, so we do negative No, that's... What the heck? Why is that negative? Oh, no, it's YX. It's YX. Why is it YX? What the heck? It's YX. Why is it YX? My connection to real builders is freaking legendary. Okay, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's actually do. I was gonna say do as I say, not as I do, but just don't do anything the way I'm telling you to. So, of course, the coordinate plane is X, Y. So you have to look at it and align your little E2 like that. So I did it wrong. Fortunately, I can reprint it out though, because I didn't change anything yet. It's a good thing to just check and see if things work. Okay. Oh, why is it XY? That's strange. Anyway, we're gonna do the same thing. Just copy paste. And it's X. This goes at top. And this goes before this one. Oops. And we want to go ahead and loop back to the first one. There we go. You can barely see the little needle nose I got on the hole. Anyway, let's do the sponsons next, shall we? I'm gonna start right here. And that should be good. Now I don't have to worry about like reversing the order. Oh, I guess I could have mirrored the stuff and just selected it as it came, but I don't know. You can see there's a right track cover. That's good. And to make the left track cover, all you do is duplicate this, but make this negative. Left. Over. Much better. Very nice. This. This. And that should work. Oh, I actually need to reverse it. I mean, even with the E2, this is still pretty tedious. And my game is stuttering just way more than usual. Not sure what's up with that. Anyway, switch it up and come back to the main armor line here. Let's see, what's this track cover? Oh, fine. Also, the order of these don't really matter. I just like keeping them sort of together where they're relevant. Nice right there. Look at that. Take a look at that snout. I'm not sure why my game stutters. I don't know. It's Gmod being Gmod, I guess. Oh. Gee. Ooh, that's a big one. Yeah. Okay, let's copy paste. Have it in. And be very careful, because I just put this where the whole elements go. So what I need to do is I need to move this down below to the turret design, and that should be fine. And yeah, this is just gonna be freaking annoying because I have to flip this around and continue it all the way back. Oh my gosh. And the first point is indeed the last. That's good enough. Okay, E2 time. Goodness grief. Okay. Doot. Damn it. I need to make sure that's closed. How does that look? Not too bad, actually. Probably doesn't need all the resolution, but whatever. I know it'll really help this out. I'm just gonna do this and just put this roughly in the middle. Right there. Excellent. So that's the center position. Good. The circle shouldn't be that big. I think 30 by 30 maybe? That's way too big for sure. We'll see. Oof. And the fidelity can be like, I think it's a multiple of 4, right? 16? 10 by 10. Too big. Let's just do 3, I guess. And that looks stupid. Two. Maybe just 1. Bit too thick. Yeah, there we go. Take diagram. Was it worth the effort? Probably not. But hey, at least it's not the default tank diagram. So yeah, that's basically it. Almost done with this thing, which is very good. Very good.